Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the second in the series of 4 videos of show and tell. First video we talked about paintings, my airbrush illustrations and things of that nature. Now today we're going to talk about design, graphic design. Now artistically speaking, design, painting, to me they're pretty much the same thing to do with shapes and colors and forms and how they fit together. So to me, making a transition from one to the other wasn't a problem. The only difference is that primarily, obviously, all the graphic design stuff is on a computer using, in my instance, Quark Express, Photoshop and Illustrator. Nowadays, it's probably more interesting things like InDesign, I don't know. So, graphic design, how did I get into it? Well, the market for illustration is very tough, competitively speaking, very hard to get into. So I felt the need to move to broaden my scope and my services. So graphic design seemed like the obvious thing to do. Now I'm going to show you something that actually not many people have seen, and it's the very first design that I did for the Adventures of the Hakim cassette. This is the copy I actually sent to Yusuf Islam back in the olden days, many moons ago. That's the actual first design I did for it. And I used Word. I think I used a Word program for this. I can't remember, it's so long ago for that. And that was something that then developed into this, which was the first double cassette Adventures of the Hakim adventure story that you can see. Also had to design the inside. Oops, there you go. There's a cassette. This should be a double cassette. And you can see all the activities inside there. And of course, in more recent years, that has turned into the Adventures of Hakim audio CD. Now, in 1999, I started working for Brother Yusuf Islam, and the first thing he put me to working on was some audio products that he had. Now, bearing in mind, I did lots of work over the years, not just for Yusuf, but for Zain Bhikha, for other people, but I'm only going to show you a fraction of that. So, for example, I designed a booklet for him, which was a publicity booklet he wanted to give out to people, something he could just give out. And I put this together for him on Quark Express, found the images, he wrote all the text, and we put it together in this very handy-dandy, nifty little booklet there. Also worked on a number of CDs for him. One was called In Praise of the Prophet. And again, I used the idea of a rose to illustrate the different aspects of the Prophet. So if I open this, try and get it open, oh, it's a bit old. And you can see in there, I use different aspects, different roses, to talk about different aspects of the song. You know what, this is so old, it's all stuck together. You can't actually see it. But here I've got the 99 names of the Prophet. And that was one thing we worked on. Also worked on a compilation, that was a compilation CD. This was also a compilation CD called Bismillah, and you can see I've used the Turkish design from the word Bismillah. Again, using the theme of flowers, which you were quite happy with. And you can see the flowers here, the track listing. The CD booklet had, again, using the theme of flowers. And those are the different artists that participated in the album. There you go. These are the different flowers to kind of denote all of the songs. So something I worked for him there. Also, while I was there, we signed Zain Bhikha, and I produced 3 artwork for him: Children of Heaven, Towards the Light, and Faith, and also this one called Our World. All my own design. What I would do was submit a design to them, and they would like it, or then change bits and pieces. This, to me, is my favorite one. And again, got different images denoting the different songs. And you can see I did something special here. I used Arabic letters and numbers there to denote the different songs. Something I wanted to mention about the last one, this one, which is called, oh, it's not here. Here we go. In Praise of the Prophet. This CD here, unfortunately, you're not going to have smell around, but this CD, when you scratch it and smell it, it smells like roses. Okay, it's about 10 years old now, so it doesn't smell that way anymore. But that was a nice design element that we incorporated into it. So, who else did I do work for? What else did I do for Yusuf? I did Short Islamic Plays for Children. This was a 2-part compilation of stories, traditional stories that could be used as plays for schools and for youth clubs. So I designed that for him. I didn't do the illustration, we got somebody else for that. But you can see it's got all the different characters for the different parts of the play. I also worked on A.S. for Allah. I worked on the second edition and added bits and pieces to it. It was from original artwork by Abdul Latif Whiteman. And you can see this is some of the bits that I added to it. I don't know if you can see my name there somewhere. Oh, I don't know if it's there, but it's there. So this was something I didn't do from scratch, but it was something that I worked on the second edition for, A.S. for Allah, the book. And a huge project that I did when I was with Yusuf. And this will kind of touch on the other aspects of work that I did in regard to audio production. It was an idea I wanted to do called A Simple Guide to Prayer. And this is a a cassette booklet that we produced. The book was produced by Islamic Foundation and we produced the audio version, but I did the cover design. Spiffy, innit? Very spiffy. You can see I did all the design there with Photoshop. And then of course we did the double cassette, which talked about aspects of praying, making wudu and du'as. And then if you open the inside, you'll see the little boy praying. So this is something that it took me ages to get this together, to get the text right and to get the little boy right. And then there's a little advert there, and then there's some common terms and more information for new Muslims. Okay, so I also did work for other groups like Mecca to Medina, Don't Believe the Hype. For Meme, I produced this CD again, and again we like the idea of using flowers so much that we also use flowers to denote the different songs. This was a compilation album of different meme artists, 786, Nashik Rasul and Shaam and myself. So I really like these flowers, and we sort of just wanted to expand that idea. And of course the theme also translates onto the CD booklet inside of the tray and the on body of the CD as well. So you know, these things are something that I just had an idea for. I presented to them and they liked it. Also produced the live version of Shaam in concert. MashaAllah. There you go. Orange was their color at the time, so this is inundated with orange. And you can see in the CD booklet here the members of the group Shaam, very great group. Recorded in the UK. There you go. And you can see me stood in there trying to sing. Oh yes. Also for Meme, I produced the audio version of Martin Lings' Muhammad, which was a massive job because there was so many parts to it. And I had to produce the on-body and the CD booklet, which talked about the different reference points. There you go. So that's just a handful. Oh, there's one more. Salahuddin, something that I wrote and produced and had Guy Eaton read it out. The life of Salahuddin and the Crusades. And again, the inlay of it had aspects and historical information about the Crusades and the life of Salahuddin. I had to pay for the rights for this. And also, this will also touch on the audio production aspect as well, because I had to get the Guy Eaton to read it, and then the different actors, the music and the sound effects as well, which was very involved. So we'll talk about that on a different show and tell. So there you go. That's just a quick snippet of some design stuff I've done. I've done, as I said, banner stands and other things as well. But I think just to kind of show an idea of what you can produce. Also, I should mention that everything I do is self-taught. I haven't been to university or don't have a degree in any of these subjects. So if I can do it, you can do it too. So looking forward to your feedback. If there's anything you want to show and tell, by all means, inbox me and we'll discuss it then. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.